Discipline doesn't work on a 2-year-old, not because you're doing it wrong, because their brain literally cannot receive it yet. And once you understand what's actually going on in there, you'll stop fighting the behavior and start fixing the thing underneath it. Here's what nobody told you. And honestly, it changes everything. You've been handed a belief, probably from your parents, maybe from a pediatrician, definitely from every well-meaning person who watched your toddler lose it in a parking lot and said, "You just need to be firmer." The belief is this: a 2-year-old who screams, hits, goes completely limp when you try to put shoes on, or says no to literally everything is a child who needs more discipline, more structure, firmer consequences. And here's why that belief feels so logical. Because it would be true if their brain could do what we're asking it to do. But it can't. And the moment you see why, the whole thing flips. There's a third part to what I'm going to show you. Most parents never hear about it, and it's the piece that makes everything else actually hold together. I'll go into it, but first, let me show you what's happening inside your child's head during what looks like defiance. What's actually happening in their brain. The prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain that handles impulse control, emotional regulation, and the ability to hear no without the world ending. Here's the thing about that part of the brain. It doesn't fully develop until your mid-20s. At 2 years old, it is barely switched on. So when your toddler is mid-meltdown, they are not choosing to be difficult. They're running on their limbic system, the pure emotional brain, with almost no higher processing available. Dr. Daniel Siegel at UCLA calls this flipping the lid. The thinking brain goes offline. The reactive brain takes over completely. And the child is not accessible to reason, consequences, or instruction until that system comes back down. Here's the adult version of that experience. Imagine you're in the middle of something that genuinely matters to you. A hard conversation, something stressful at work, and someone grabs your arm and says, "We're leaving right now," and expects you to smile and say, "Sure, no problem." Your body would flood with stress hormones. You'd feel the urge to push back. You might manage it, but only because your prefrontal cortex is fully developed and has decades of practice. Your 2-year-old has neither of those things. They are not being bad. They are being a 2-year-old with a brain that is doing exactly what a 2-year-old brain is supposed to do. That's not soft parenting talk. That's neuroscience. Next, why common approaches go wrong. Both of these responses come from love, not from bad parenting. Response 1, get firmer. Raise the voice. Add a consequence. Repeat the instruction louder. What happens neurologically is that you're adding more stress chemicals to a nervous system that is already flooded. The amygdala, the brain's threat detector, doesn't hear words when it's activated. It detects danger. And a parent who is escalating registers as a threat, not a solution. A 2019 study in child development found that power-assertive discipline in children under 36 months increased dysregulation rather than reducing it. The child isn't learning to comply. Their nervous system is learning that big emotions make everything more dangerous. Response 2, give in, not because you're a pushover, because you are exhausted, you love your child, and you need the screaming to stop. This one is tricky because it also doesn't work long-term, not because it spoils them, but because it creates a neural pathway. The brain connects "I am overwhelmed" with "things change in my favor." That pathway doesn't form out of manipulation. It forms out of repetition. And repetition is how all neural pathways form. Neither of these makes you a bad parent. Both of them make complete sense with the information most of us were given. The information was just incomplete. Now, let's get into what the research says actually works. What the research shows is that a 2-year-old in emotional dysregulation doesn't need discipline first. They need co-regulation first. Here's what co-regulation actually means, without the jargon. Your nervous system and your child's nervous system talk to each other constantly. Dr. Stuart Shanker's research on self-regulation shows that young children cannot regulate their own emotional states independently. Their brains are literally designed to borrow that regulation from a caregiver. When you stay calm while they're falling apart, you are not being passive. You are being the nervous system they don't have yet. When you match their energy, which is the most natural thing in the world to do when someone is screaming at you, you accidentally confirm to their brain that this situation is in fact a crisis. When you stay regulated, you send the opposite signal. What co-regulation actually looks like, not the concept, the moves. You get physically low, eye level or below, not looming over them, but with them. You slow your own breath first, before you say a single word, because your body is communicating before your mouth does. Then you say this: "You're really upset right now. You wanted to keep playing. That makes sense." That's the first move. Dr. Daniel Siegel calls this name it to tame it. When you verbally label what a child is feeling, you activate the prefrontal cortex, even a partially developed one. You are literally shifting the brain from reactive processing to something closer to thinking. The child doesn't calm down because you said magic words. They calm down because naming the emotion changes the neurological state. Research by Matthew Lieberman and colleagues at UCLA, 2007, published in Psychological Science, used functional MRI to show that putting feelings into words reduces amygdala activity. The science is that specific. 20 seconds, maybe 30. You're not fixing it yet. You're creating the conditions where fixing becomes possible. Once you see even a small shift, a pause in the crying, eye contact, a slightly slower breath, you add one more line. It's hard when fun things have to stop. And then the boundary. Warm, calm, non-negotiable. "We still need to put shoes on. I'll help you." Not a question. Not, "Can you please just put your shoes on?" which a dysregulated brain hears as optional. A calm, warm, non-negotiable statement, followed by an offer of partnership. That's the two-part sequence. Co-regulation first, authoritative boundary second, and it works because of the order. The science behind authoritative parenting, warm and firm, pioneered by developmental psychologist Diana Baumrind, consistently shows better long-term outcomes than either permissive or controlling approaches alone. But warm and firm only lands after the nervous system is back online. Sequence matters. Now, the third part, most families skip. You get through the shoes, everyone survives, and then you move on because dinner is cold and you are exhausted, and thank God that's done. Here's what's missing in that moment: a 60-second reconnection. Not a lecture, not rehashing. Just go back to them, low-key, and say, "That was hard. You did it though. Who do you want to sit next to at dinner?" Forward, warm, brief. What you're doing neurologically is filing the experience as, "Hard thing happened. We got through it. Connection was restored." That filing is what builds secure attachment. And secure attachment, documented across decades by Dr. Mary Ainsworth and expanded by virtually every developmental researcher since, is the single strongest predictor of a child's capacity to self-regulate later. Not in 5 years. You can start to see it within weeks. The families who do co-regulation and skip reconnection see partial results and give up. The reconnection isn't optional. It's the thing the whole structure rests on. And 3 questions you're probably asking. One may say, "My kid doesn't calm down. The co-regulation isn't working." Almost always, this means the intervention is happening too late, after the cortisol is already at peak rather than on the way up. Watch for the earliest signals. The voice change. The body tenses. The first sign of frustration, not the 5th. Move in before the flood, not during it. Another common saying: "This is a lot of effort just to get shoes on." Yes, in the moment, and over time, dramatically less. Neural pathway formation is repetitive by design. The first 15 times, this feels like too much. By the 30th time, your child's nervous system has a new default. Big feeling, parent comes close, it passes, we move forward. That becomes their internal template for handling hard things for years. You may think, my parents didn't do this and I'm fine. You probably are. And also, children who had consistent co-regulation in early childhood show measurably stronger executive function, lower anxiety rates, and better peer relationships in middle childhood. Fine is a floor. This is a ceiling. Finally, your real timeline. Days 1 through 3, it probably gets slightly worse first. Your child is checking whether the new pattern is real or temporary. That's not failure. That's exactly what should happen. Hold the pattern anyway. Weeks 1 and 2, the ceiling on the escalation starts to lower. Tantrums don't disappear, but they peak lower and come back down faster. Week 3 or 4, you'll catch your child take one breath in the middle of a frustrated moment before the full escalation, and something in you will recognize it. That's the prefrontal cortex starting to participate. It's a small thing. It's also the whole thing. Back to the hallway. It's time. Shoes still not on. You get low and say, you really didn't want to stop. That makes sense. Then wait for 20 seconds and say, we still need to go. I'll help you with the left one. Shoes go on. It's not magic. It takes 4 minutes instead of 14. And nobody ends the night feeling like the other person is the enemy. You are not just solving the shoes right now. Every single time you stay regulated when they aren't, you are lending them a nervous system they don't have yet. And slowly, repetition by repetition, they build their own. That is what discipline actually looks like at 2. Not firmer, steadier. Thanks for watching.